a book about liars and conspiracy theories doesn't have anything to say about Fox News.
Former governor of New Jersey and Republican Christie is on his rehabilitation tour, trying to put himself out there as the one brave and noble Republican that is trying to save the party. But to my surprise, not all the media is buying it. So MSNBC's Nicolle Wallace actually called him out on his bullshit, in particular his unwillingness to call out Fox News.
You know, the book is called, it's about conspiracies and lies, and you really don't take on Fox News. Why not?
Look, because the book was...
Tucker Carlson
because the book... No, I don't watch it, but the book...
Are you aware of what he does?
Not really. I don't pay a lot of attention to it.
It's a book with truth deniers, conspiracy theorists on the cover.
Right.
And you attack CNN and the New York Times and MSNBC and not Fox.
But excuse me, I don't attack them as conspiracy theorists or truth deniers. I talk about bias.
And is bias more dangerous to the country than conspiracy theorists?
No, but that's the third section of the book, where I talk about the movement forward. In the center portion of the book, we talk about the conspiracy theories and the truth denying that went on with things like QAnon, Pizzagate, the election situation, John Birch Society, and that's what I talk about. There's two sections of the book, and I'm sure accidentally you're conflating them.
I'm not conflating them, but I don't think I don't think it's an intellectually honest case to make against conspiracy theories without taking on Fox News.
Well, listen, then you can write that in your book.
Well, I'm not trying to rescue the Republican Party.
All right, so I have a second clip coming up where Nicolle Wallace continues to push Christie on this. But first, I just want to point out here, this is exactly why people hate politicians. Christie trying to put himself out there as the one brave Republican that is going to steer the party in the right direction, calling out the liars, calling out the conspiracy theorists, but won't touch Fox News, won't touch Tucker Carlson. How do you not center that in a book about trying to put the party back on the right path, away from that side, away from the far right conspiracies? He doesn't do that because this is where the base is. Christie isn't stupid. He understands who he needs in terms of support if he's going to run again for political office as a Republican. He needs that Trump base. And the Trump base is the GOP base. That is the entire base. The vast majority are still with Trump. So if he's out there calling out the Fox News conspiracy theorists like Tucker Carlson, that's not going to help Christie. So again, focusing completely on his own career while trying to put himself out there and pretend he is this brave individual that is, you know, barely around the edges criticizing Trump, but really won't even, as you'll see in the next clip, he won't even commit to not supporting Trump if he runs again. I mean, to my surprise, again, Dana Bash actually pushed him on this. Christie bristles as CNN's Dana Bash accuses him of cop-out for refusing to rule out supporting Trump. So this actually makes Dana Bash sound a lot stronger than she actually was in the clip. But regardless, Christie is still not ruling out supporting Trump. Yeah, this is the guy that is supposed to be calling out the party. Come on. So here's the second clip where Nicolle Wallace continues pushing him on this issue.
I guess my question is, you want to run for president. What's your relationship with Fox News going to be?
Well, first of all, I didn't say I wanted to run for president. You said that. So let's be clear about that.
Well, a lot of people have said that in the last 3 days. You haven't corrected anybody.
Well, I understand that.
You're pretty quick to jump in and correct the record.
No, what I've said is that I certainly will think about it, but I won't make any decision for at least another year.
Do you think that Fox News in prime time is good for the country or bad?
Listen, there are shows that I like in Fox News, and there's shows that I don't like. Like there are shows that I like here,
Are you afraid to question the purveyors of conspiracy theories and lies?
By the way, but that's your opinion. You're welcome to your opinion, like everybody else in this country is welcome to your opinion. I don't consider people like Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham purveyors.
I didn't say either of their names.
Well,
Tucker Carlson.
you said the evening news programs at Fox News.
The 8 p.m. hour.
And as I told you, I don't watch the show, so I don't know what Tucker does from night to night. If I watch anything at night in news, because most of the time I'm watching sports, but if I'm watching anything in news, I'm usually watching either Sean or Laura.
So you may or may not support Donald Trump in 2024. You may or may not run for president. And a book about liars and conspiracy theories doesn't have anything to say about Fox News.
No, the book talks about, you continue to conflate it. And you know what?
I don't know how you can talk about liars and conspiracy theorists without talking about Fox News. I was a Republican. I think they've done more damage to the party than anything else.
I'm sure you do, but if we want to go through that, I think there are liars and conspiracy theorists on MSNBC and on CNN also.
All right, so first to Chris Christie's last point there, I would love to know what he would use as an example when it comes to conspiracy theories coming out of MSNBC and CNN. Because as I've discussed on my channel plenty of times, I've covered the pro-corporate bias from CNN and MSNBC, of course, Fox News as well. And that is their issue, this conservative bias on economic policy, thinking that spending on paid leave is a crazy idea, or that Medicare for all is a crazy idea, when these are moderate positions. Looking at polling, the vast majority of people support those issues. Just as a couple examples, they'll support higher taxes on the wealthy and large corporations. And you can go down the list. When it comes to Bernie's economic platform, the vast majority of people in polling support the Bernie platform, the progressive platform. But Chris Christie here, like, what is his issue with these networks? Because it's, if anything, it's beneficial to him. So I'm not sure what problem he has with them. But getting back to what he said about this really gives him away. He says when he watches the news, he'll watch Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham. Has no idea what Tucker's doing. Really? You watch Fox News, you have no idea what Tucker Carlson is doing. You don't have to even watch Fox News to know what he's doing. It's covered every day, whether it's white nationalism, whether it's anti-vax stuff, whether he's now painting the January 6th insurrection as a false flag. All of this stuff is well documented, covered every single day. Big news segments on this. People are aware of this. Chris Christie is aware of this. But again, he has to pretend. He doesn't want to offend the Republican base that he understands is with Tucker. Tucker has the biggest ratings on Fox News. They're with Tucker Carlson and these ideas. He doesn't want to offend them, but he also is trying to ride the line here by appealing to this imaginary center. So he just says nothing. He claims he doesn't watch it as a way to avoid the question. It is so dishonest. People aren't buying this crap anymore. If Chris Christie does run again in 2024, I can't imagine him being successful, simply because the base is not going to be with him. If they have the option of Trump or like Ron DeSantis, why would they pick Chris Christie? The idea that they're going to be able to get back to, pre-2016 GOP is just not going to happen. But he's trying. he's trying to do it, and he's trying to put himself in the center as the one true Republican that is going to steer the party in the right direction. To my surprise here, Nicolle Wallace worked for George Bush, is a former Republican. I'm amazed that she's the one here calling Chris Christie out on his bullshit, but it was good to see.